Once, long ago in a village near the banks of a calm river, there lived a prosperous merchant named Raghav. He was known far and wide for his vast wealth, his fine silks, and his luxurious home. Yet, despite his success, Raghav's heart was hardened with greed. He was always seeking more, hoarding every coin, and was notorious for his disregard for those less fortunate. One sunny afternoon, while Raghav walked through the bustling market, a beggar approached him. The beggar was an old man, hunched and tired, his clothes torn and ragged. His eyes, though weary, carried a deep wisdom, as if he had lived many lifetimes. "Good merchant, I have nothing but my hunger. Please, give me a coin or some food, so I may survive this day," the beggar asked softly. Raghav, with a glance full of disdain, looked at the beggar and sneered. "Why should I give you anything? You are lazy, begging for a handout when you should work like the rest of us. If you want something, earn it." The beggar, unshaken by the merchant's harsh words, simply bowed his head in gratitude and stepped aside, not saying a word. But that very night, as Raghav lay in his luxurious bed, a strange dream visited him. In the dream, he found himself wandering a dense forest. As he walked, the path grew narrower and more treacherous. Soon, he came across a river that was too wide to cross and too deep to wade through. Desperate, he searched for a way to cross, but the waters seemed endless. Suddenly, the beggar from the market appeared on the other side of the river, sitting on a large stone, smiling gently. "You cannot cross the river, Raghav, not because it is too wide, but because you have built walls around your heart." Confused and frustrated, Raghav called out, "What do you mean? I am not afraid. I will cross this river, no matter the cost." The beggar's smile remained calm. "The river you cannot cross is the river of your own karma. It is not something you can simply will away. You must open your heart and practice kindness if you wish to cross." When Raghav awoke from the dream, the sun had already risen, and for the first time, he felt an unfamiliar weight in his heart. He could not shake the image of the beggar, nor could he ignore the feeling that he had been shown something profound. Days passed, and Raghav found himself haunted by the dream. He tried to forget about it, focusing instead on his wealth and business, but it seemed the river of his own life had become wider, his heart heavier. He began to see the faces of those he had dismissed and ignored, the poor, the hungry, the downtrodden, and he felt something stir inside him. Was this his karma, he wondered? A weight that could not be erased. One day, as fate would have it, Raghav found himself in the same market again. This time, the beggar was there, but this time, Raghav approached him, a different man than before. "Old man," Raghav said, his voice gentler than it had ever been. "I was wrong to turn you away. Please, take what I have." The beggar smiled, and his eyes sparkled with an ancient wisdom. "It is not the gift you give that matters most, Raghav. It is the openness of your heart. I have always known that you would learn." And so, Raghav learned the truth of karma. It is not a punishment, nor a reward, but the unfolding of our actions, rippling outward like the still water disturbed by a pebble. When one is generous in spirit, when one is humble and compassionate, the world returns these gifts manifold. From that day on, Raghav became a different man. His heart softened, and he shared his wealth with those in need. The village, once filled with whispers of his greed, now spoke of his kindness. He had crossed the river of his own making, not with force, but with love and generosity. And the beggar. Some say he was an incarnation of Buddha, walking the earth in the form of a humble soul, always reminding others of the power of compassion, showing that even the smallest act of kindness can change the course of a life. The lesson was simple. Karma is not something that happens to us. It is the energy we put into the world, and it will always return to us, whether we wish it or not. And so, in the village by the river, the story of the merchant and the beggar became a tale passed down through generations. A reminder that in our hearts, we are always sowing the seeds of our own destiny.